I'm Giovanni from Alembic, the creative drinks agency that specializes in design, development and marketing of quality drinks education and beverage experiences. Alembic and ICCA Dubai together brings to you Cocktail Zero, the art of alcohol-free design drinks. Our certificate programs in dry mixology and bartending showmanship are designed not only for inspiring bar professionals working in the industry, but also for the serious enthusiasts interested in learning the art of mixology. Come, introduce yourself to the fascinating and soul-stirring world of alcohol-free designer drinks.
Good afternoon from warm Dubai, and a very good morning and good evening to all the viewers who are joining us from various parts of the world. Welcome to ICCA Live, World Class Culinary Online. Today, we are back for another exciting session on dry mixology and bartending. Last time around, we had a little over 250 participants join us, and we are encouraged to see increased number of registrants for today's session. Without any further ado, let me quickly hand over to our course director, Shanaz Raja from ICCA Dubai. No, can't hear anything. No. She doesn't have any audio. No. You cannot see Terry? No, it doesn't connect. You cannot, you are unable to connect because maybe you're on Wi-Fi. It's okay. We can go there to check on this. It's fine.
Headphone is causing the problem.
Yes, Shanaz, I think I can hear you now. Excellent.
You can.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I think this is going to be my third start now. It's good practice anyway. Okay, so hello Karun, thank you Karun, and hello everyone. For those of you who are not with us on the previous webinar, I am Shanaz Raja, the Director of Courses here at the International Center for Culinary Arts in Dubai. I design and develop courses and oversee the quality assurance processes. This afternoon, I will be a host with Master Mixologist Giovanni De Pegola, Mr. G for short. This series of webinars is on the introduction to dry mixology and bartending and will take you through the various aspects. Those of you who attend all the webinars will receive an e-certificate at the end. And if you have missed the previous episode, you can watch the replay and your attendance will be captured by the system. before I go forward, can you yet hear me? Karun and Giovanni, can you hear me? Yeah? Okay, thank you. Last week, we were focused on the tools of the trade, and this week, we present to you the topic, Introduction to the Methods and Techniques Used in Dry Mixology and Bartending. Before we go forward, I would like to give you a really short introduction on Mr. G. Mr. G is well known in the MENA region for his cheer, charisma, and knowledge, making him one of the most respected and appreciated trainers in the bartending industry. In over 20 years, he has a number of new openings and bartending trainings to his credit across Europe, Asia, Middle East, Africa, and which part of the world did I miss? I think I mentioned them all. Among many other events, he has managed many features, and one of the biggest features that he's managed was the MTV Awards in Lisbon, catering to over 4,000 guests. He was appointed by the London Club International to be part of the core team to launch their newest casino collection across UK, and has trained over 1,500 bartenders for various hotel groups and bars across the Gulf region in the recent past. He is the co-founder of Alembic, a creative drinks agency that specializes in the design, development, and marketing of quality drinks and education experiences. To go into the webinar now, should you have any questions during the session, please type them into the chat and I'll take them up with Mr. G for you. Feel free to use your imagination with the questions and stay within the topic, saving the other questions for related webinars. This session is all about learning, and hence we will have a few polls to test your understanding. So do watch carefully. Over to you, Mr. G.
Excellent, excellent. Here we are. Thank you very much, Karun. Thank you very much, Shanaz. We were very worried that you were talking no audio. Well, this is the beauty of a live sessions, you know. So very warm welcome to the ICCA Live. We're very proud that we launched this last week. We were having such a great time talking about, as we mentioned, about tools of the trade. Well, because this is all about dry mixologies. This is Cocktail Zero. So we really put our effort and our passion into the art of creating alcohol-free design drinks. So what we had today for you is a connection, you know, between the tools of trade that we saw last week, and this week we will concentrate into method and technique. Now, it's a very tricky and it's very really a fine line when you talk about method and technique, because there is the methodology behind, and then the technique can really influence the final product. So when you will see a classic recipe that will tell you is a shake it, or is a stir, or is a layer, so it really means that we have to look into the details, and how to use those tools is very, very important. So let me introduce you today. The first technique we're going to have is all about stirring. Now, stirring technique is pretty much done in a mixing glass. So this is what we saw last week. As a mixing glass, this is what we mean. And those one can be pretty much tall, so to do multiple actually recipes, but they can be like a short like that. So you probably can have 1 or 2 drinks. Here we can have 4 or 5 drinks together. And also they can come in a various materials. So this is in particular is a crystal, so has a different really impact, not much on the flavor, but on the eyes, the way it's diluting. And this is just a glass, so pretty much those different. Let me show you how this nice, beautiful crystal will work. Now, the stirring technique is done to really ensure how we really do it, where we implementing dilution. So it's a very delicate recipes. In the alcohol business, they're using for some heavy spirit style of cocktails. In this case, I want to show you guys what it's all about. It's a super simple to use it. So first of all, we need to really make the ice inside the mixing glass. So like this. So here we go. Now, when we making cocktail, and we're gonna have this session all on its own, the ice is extremely important. Now, because the ice is actually an ingredient. So don't forget, we do this to stirring. So we're stirring to diluting. Now, too much dilution will probably kill certain flavor. So what's going to happen is that you will see now, I'm actually going to really see here. So this is how I am stirring something. I would like to see how my ice is performing. So based on that, then I understand how many times I'm going to stir. I'm going to stir for 5 to 10 seconds, could be 15 seconds. So it's all depend how your ice is performing. So this one is a very high quality ice. Is how normally at the school here we're using Oshizaki ice. We're very proud to do that. And then what you can see here is the dilution that is really applied already. So very interesting to see the amount of diluted that I already made it. Stirring probably around 50-20 times. So now I know. So let's see what is happening here. Let's pretend I'm gonna make my cocktail here, and I will make a nice 60 milliliter. For the people that watched us last time, they know that this is called a jigger. A jigger is used behind the bar with all our students to measure the actually cocktail, so to ensure that this is what we want to do. 60 milliliter, 30 milliliter in this case. So they all come also in different measurements. So it can be 25 or could be 25 or 50 or 15, 30. So that's all depends. So what we do here is super simple as it is. I just pour my juices. And then what I want to do, maybe I want to add some carbonation, yeah? So this is very important to remember. Now, carbonation in terms of using technique, you can see here, I can use here. Why I'm very confident to use this one is because what's going to happen, the stirring technique is a very gentle. So the carbonation and the dilution, it will be very soft. So it will not kill the carbonation. So very, very important. So a few times here, nice and cold, and the drink is ready to go. Let me pick my glass, and here I go. And this is how pretty much looks like. There we go. Beautiful. So this is really how we making a stirring technique, super simple. We just put the ice, we just stir a few times, and the drink look like this, super nice and cold. Let me try. So this was an apple juice with our great Tassoni Sambuco, so elderflower. So 1, 2, 3 steps. So stirring technique, super simple, 1, 2, 3 steps. Now, another great technique we're going to show you today is the one that we call muddling. So this is a bit of a, I will show you maybe 2 in 1, so you guys can actually capture this. And don't forget, we saw this last week, so let's have a look together. Which citrus? Probably last week we did we muddled the lemon. So what I would like to show you is something like a grapefruit. So super cool, nice grapefruit like this. A lot of perfume and oil are around the skin, so great for muddling. But don't forget, when we muddle, you will see now that the muddling technique is pretty much very important. We're using a muddler like that, and the serrated here, they don't want to crush too much the oil around. So let's cut the grapefruit. And I remember last week some people were asking to us to so the beauty of life, someone is running behind my back. Excellent. Always. So here we have, so the beauty of 1, 2, why? And now, there we go. So we have the squeezing part, and I want to show you on if you can show you on this side here on details. You can see here the beautiful part. There we go. Yes, that's really nice. There we go. So that's the beauty of the grapefruit. So what we do here, I will gently muddle. Why we do the muddling here? Because there is the essential oil that we want to capture, and the ease what's going to happen the extraction. So not too much, otherwise we get too bitter there, because this is the zest of the oil. And then, so this is the muddling technique. Now, let me do the building technique. So muddling, and we build together. Build, what does it mean? We're not going to have any of our equipment. So we're not going to have any of the shakers. We're not going to have any of the stirring. None of those is built. So it's built into the glass. So what we do is pretty much this. We're adding the ice, and that is the muddling. So muddling, and now we build. Super simple. How we can build? Maybe we're using another carbonation. So let me see what do I have here. I love the grapefruit with here we go. This is a great ginger beer. I love it. Or ginger soda for many people. So let me show you this one. There we go. So easy as it is. Let me get. So this is what we mean by muddling. So when we're crushing some fruits inside, and then when we build up. So what does it mean a build up? Is just literally we're going to put ice and whatever is our favorite, either the carbonation, or could be a juice, or could be any of your favorite puree, anything. So that is pretty much the simplicity of this technique. I try my cocktail, so let's see. Ooh, excellent. Really cool. Very nice. So let me remove this. And then I will show you now one technique which is very popular, and the bartender, they love it to do it. And even you at home, if you are watching, feel free, because the shakers are multiple. They will come in different colors. They will come in different sizes. So just to give an idea, so this is a classic 3-piece shaker. We saw this definitely last week what we discussed. This is in a 2 pieces. But what I want to show you, the shaking technique can be different. Let me show you this one. And let me go behind the bar here. And voila. So this is the one I would like to show you. And this is we call Le Parisien. So it's a brilliant for foaming the cocktail, and so really making frothies. But don't forget, we're shaking because we want to have a dilution and we want to chill. Now, the frothiness is another element we can add, but the main purpose of shaking is actually chilling and dilution. So what we're gonna have here, I would like to show you this one. So I will put, let me get this on the side for you. I will use this definitely later for one of our recipes. And so how can we achieve certain frothiness or certain element, which is always good in the shaking? What we do here, let me capture here. This is a classic egg white. So this is pretty much what we do for when we have to do a shaking. But in the case you don't have an egg, or as a substitution, last week we discussed, I think one of our viewers said, what are the alternative that we can use if we don't have an egg white, or if you are a vegan option? So I also have something like this, which is pretty much, we can call this is the albumina, or very similar. I also have the soya powder. So also, and in UAE, sometimes we don't find all the time, but we have the aquafaba, which is the water from the chickpeas. And this was pointed from one of our viewers. So thank you very much to give us that tips that we skipped last time, because it's not always available in UAE. So for you to remember. So let's do this. I will crack the egg. This is one of my favorite definitely tools that I didn't show you last time because I was waiting for this. So what we do is simple as it is. So this will help us immediately to separate the yolk from the egg white. So excellent. So we'll go down. There we go. So, and I will use these later for the nice omelette. Now imagine what we're gonna have. We can actually pretty much we can squeeze a nice citrus inside, and then I will add my juice. There we go. Let's measure. Let's put a 60 milliliter so you guys can actually see the importance of the recipe and follow. And let me grab the ice. Now here is when with the shaking technique, is extremely important. Is the fact that the way we handle the shaker, and really we need to super shake vigorously, because there's a frothiness we need to create. So we really need to chill dilution and need to create the frothiness, because it needs to be really nice and creamy. That's all we want to this one. So this is a perfect technique. You can do it. We want to shake it if you have in a coffee base, so to have a lot of frothy. If you use the pineapple juice, in this case we are using an apple juice, a classic, a bit of a grapefruit, so a bit of a citrus, and then the egg white. So a classic sour. This is how we do it. So let's see. This is when we say you shake vigorously. So let's have a look on this one. And shaker is super chill. Ooh, I love it. Beautiful smell. I want to show you exactly what do I mean by this. Let me show you this. You can clearly see the foam that we have created shaking to this. And one more thing that always we do is the sound, is really the sound here, the sound. Okay, well, after this, let me put the ice in here. Voila. I love those cubes that always stays. And here is what you're really going to see. You can see the amount of a froth that goes inside. Beautiful. So this is a great way out to see. And I'm going to show you, really, you can see the frothiness on top here. Beautiful. So that's really, and when we're going now to the beauty of creating a cocktail like this, when you go for a sip, so when you go really, you really create that velvet idea. So that's why when you're shaking and you want to achieve this kind of result, this is how you're going to do it. So let me then, one more technique which is very popular, and we do also with our students here at the school. Everyone has so much fun do that. It's called the swizzle. So this is something that we do with our guys. It's very simple as it is. So what they do, they pretty much, we put inside the glass, just to give an example, it goes inside the glass here, so it goes all the way down, and then you start swizzling complete. So you're mixing everything. Normally we do for technique that it could be a mojito, could be some actually there's a rum swizzle. So we do a bit of a mix with a very herbal element that can go up and down into the cocktail. So this is something we call the swizzle. Our students, they go all the way around and then they have some fun together. So I will show you maybe another recipe in one of the other episodes. Now let's go back and let's see one fantastic technique that we like to see is what we call a throwing method. So what is a throwing method? The throwing method has two things, so like this one, and what's happening here, we just going, this is pretty much what we do for our thick. So imagine, so to reduce the thickness, so just to diluting. So no carbonation goes in a throwing technique, but definitely we have some thick juice. So imagine your tomato juice, or maybe also our fresh apple juice can work. So what we want there is just to do it. Let me show you so you guys can have a good idea of what exactly mean by really throwing. And maybe I will choose this glass for you to show you. And simple is just adding few ice cubes here. And then I will have my apple juice. And the idea is really just to make this liquid a bit more thinner and cold. So how do we do that? It's very simple. So in this case, here what we have So we're gonna transfer from one thing to another thing. Here we are. So meanwhile we do this, you can see that the liquid is getting thinner and colder, because my tin will getting colder. So then where we know. Et voila. And then we can carry on a few times, and then we pretty much, we're serving like this. So this is a very simple way how to really diluting and throwing. So this is, we took this technique, we make hours behind the bar to when we are talking about something related to the actual, the famous chai, you know, the chai tea. So where really the street vendors, they really go and make it, all that beautiful spices, and the condensed milk makes all the foam. In this case, was just an apple juice, and then we mix it. But that is the concept. So this is what exactly we are talking about when we say throwing technique. Now, let's look into, well, pretty much, I think we have all the showing 1, 2, 3, 4, pretty much everything is there. Let's go and make a couple cocktail implementing some of those techniques. Let's see if we have some, all of them, or maybe we missed some. Let's have a look. Let's see. So Shanaz, I think we prepared some question, a poll or something like this for our guests. Yeah. Here we go. Here we go. I can see.
Okay, so I'm going to call out the answers, and I'll need our audience to type in their answer into the chat, because when I refresh my page in the beginning of the webinar, I seem to have lost all our polls. Okay, the ones that I entered. So the question is, I need to read it out now. Okay, so the question here is, you are looking at a picture with 3 different techniques in it. Okay, the A is the layering technique, B is the foaming technique, and the third one, C, is the straining technique. Which of these would you like us to demonstrate? Would you like Giovanni to demonstrate to you? So Giovanni, we are waiting for some answers.
I like that. Okay, I'm okay.
Guys, did you get my question? Oh, I'm getting some answers now. Okay, so we've got a few answers, and
okay.
A majority of the people, they would like you to show A, the layering technique. Are you ready for that?
That's really nice. You see, you know, we were debating. This is great, Shanaz. Thank you, because we were talking about all this, you know, and we say, well, I would like to show you guys. It's called the grasshopper. Now, the grasshopper is actually, in a world of a cocktail, is a real cocktail now where we making with pretty much we do with the creme de menthe, with the creme de cacao, and then you shake it with the cream. Now, the cocktail today is something that it can be made in a different way. So depend the technique we are going to use, then we can actually have in a different look and feel. So you can see. So the cocktail today is the grasshopper, and I will show you this as a layer. Now, you mentioned you want to see as a layer. So this is the one, the glass I choose for you. I did it because the grasshopper for me is one of those cocktails that you cannot have too much because it's quite intense with the flavors and the concentrations. Is, you know, you have the coffee, you got the creme de cacao, then you have the creme de menthe. So it's like that after eight feeling with the cream. So I always recommend to have in a small glass. No, this is not a shooter glass. You will see. Let me anticipate. No, I will not. I will not anticipate. I will wait till the end. So this is actually what we call a tasting glass. So here where it's perfect because as at the bottom, then on top is opens up, so we can really smell. So really, really cool. So this is, in this case, what we want to really achieve here is to have the coffee at the bottom and then to create the layer. So the cream will sit on top. Now, how do we do that? Now, to do this, we will have, you can see there's a multiple technique. Now, the beauty of today, and I want you to take out, is that we have a single technique together. So we have the shaker, we have the mixing glass, which is where we do the stirring. Then we have the throwing, you can have the muddling, the build up. So it's a lot of things there. But what happened that you can mix match those techniques. So there is no one rules there. There is no rules. There is no, in terms of creativity, you can feel and you do it as you like it. And this is the beauty. Sometimes I see bartender mixing 3-4 different techniques. However, what does it mean that? The more technique you're going to implement, the more difficult you will make it. So if you are behind the bar, you need to think how busy your bar when you actually doing one cocktail with multiple techniques. So always bear in mind. Also, if you're at home entertaining guests, think about the guests. They cannot wait for you all the time to do all the technique. So you gotta be practiced. So let me show you this one. So this, as I mentioned, is a mix of the actual technique. What does it mean? We will start with stirring, and I will do my coffee, which is here. And this is a beautiful, is a couple of espresso here. I made 2 long espresso, and I will do that around 60 milliliter of an espresso. As much is already cold here, but it's quite concentrated, so it will have a very intense flavor. I want the coffee to melt inside the cocktail. Is the star, but it needs to be the star along with. So is the king with the 2 beautiful bodyguards on the side. So that's the way I see this cocktail. So the grasshopper, why? Because you will see is completely green. How do we get the green? It's 2 things we're gonna use it. So we have the creme de menthe, which I will use in a minute, and then we're gonna have the chocolate. So the chocolate I will mix with the actually coffee, and I will use 10 milliliter because I like more on the bitter side, and also we always like to use a bit of a less sugary things. We want to play naturally. So in this case, we already are using 2, not to exceed the 20 milliliter of, let's say, of sugar inside the actually cocktail recipe. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add few ice cubes. And don't forget, this technique is about just to chill and dilute it. Not too much, this is what I wanted, that's all. And then I will go to stir inside. Beautiful. Now the base is pretty much ready. So the syrup has been diluted already inside, and this is ready to go. Now, here is the beauty and the part of where we really, remember the way we shake it before? So this is how we're gonna shake it now. So really intense, and this is a small shaker. So normally we use the Parisienne a bit larger. So if you want to do this, and let's have a look. So I will have 10 milliliter of the creme de menthe. There we go. Which is quite peppery, so it will work very well with this. And then we have our cream. Now, a good level of this, it could be in a half and a half, so half coffee, half cream. That's up to you. You can even have like 1 part of cream and 2 parts of coffee. So if just to give an understanding how parts are working, let's say if you're using 60 milliliter of coffee, you probably want to use 30 milliliter of cream. In this case, I will go for a 50-50. I want to go up to really just leave a good window to the actual drink. So I will go for a good 30. I will put 60 milliliter of our coffee, of our cream. There we go. And now is a matter of shaking. Ready? Now we are about always, the layer is a very visual effect. It works like takes the the inspiration by the Irish coffee, you know, where we're using coffee, we use an Irish whisk at the bottom, and then we put the cream on top. Now, normally that could be hot at the bottom, so the coffee could be hot. I prefer to serve this one nice and cold. So what we do here, we go like this. So slowly, we let the cream go on top. Can you see? Here we go. And then you go all the way. Nice. And here is where the beauty, as you can see, the cream really blends. Have a look here. I'll show you over here. Fantastic. So you can see the creamy start going down of the cocktail. Is something that really always we like sexy. Now we like to garnish our cocktail, and this will be with the nice Verona chocolate. Love it. And now is that we like to finishing to recall, if you want to have with a little mint sprig. Here we go. So this is our grasshopper. So this is how it looks like. I will try now because it's very important. Let me have a look. Let me try. Always try what we created. Let's see. Oh, this is what time is it? I think it's around 2:30, probably more or less. Great afternoon cocktail after the meal, you know, after dinner, you know, actually is a brilliant. After lunch is fantastic, but then this is an afternoon thing, you know, when you want to have a coffee, you can have this one. So this is our grasshopper. I will leave this one here, visual for our friends here at home or in the studio, or maybe you are in the office watching us. We don't know. That's the beauty of working from home. That's fantastic. So let me have the second cocktail of the day, which is the one we want to showcase. Is called the, actually, Shanaz, we had, before we go to the second cocktail, I think we had another poll for our friends at home, yeah?
Yeah, we did. Okay, I managed to get back the poll on.
And you managed, great. So yes. let's see, because I see people are really watching today. I see a lot of questions are coming through. So tell me, what is the second poll?
But before we go to the poll, I'd like to ask you a question to do with this cocktail. It's from Mohammed Hani from Egypt. He says he's very happy to see these alcohol-free cocktails. Mohammed, we call them mocktails or cocktail zero. And he says if he wants to use mango juice and lemonade, which one should he pour first?
Oh, great question. First of all, thank you very much, Mohammed. That's a great question. Thank you. We always like that interaction. Well, the fact you already give the answer yourself, which is brilliant, because you see why we are able to do a layer is because we have two different weights. So in this case, what we had the coffee with some sugar inside. So the sugar and the syrup, of course, maintain the floating of the cream on top. So what happened then? In case of your mango and lemonade, if you want to have them together, you're just gonna pour. But if you want to have mango and lemonade on top, so you need to pour mango first because it's quite heavy. You know, mango is quite really nice texture and fiber. So leave the mango, and then slowly, maybe with the help of the bar spoon, as I did, you know, with the help of the bar spoon, what you can do, literally, you go on top, on the side, and then you will see slowly, the lemonade as the bubble, much more lighter, it will stay on top. So what you're gonna have a beautiful yellow-orange of the mango and the crystal clear of the lemonade on top. So I like that question. Bravo, Mohammed. Very good.
Okay, so I'm going to publish the poll. Yeah, one poll for them.
Okay.
Okay, so the question is, why do we shake a cocktail? The options are to crush the fruit, to chill and dilute, or to froth and layer. So no one has chosen crush the fruit. 60, it's constantly changing. Okay, 65% choose chill and dilute, and 33% choose froth and layer. So which one is it, Giovanni?
Say again. Not many people choose the crush.
Nobody chose the crush. So
Fantastic. That's good. That's very good. So people, they've been pay attention. So what the other two, they were the tricky part. We made the big. So what they said about the frothiness.
The froth and layer was 29%. 30% of the people said froth and layer.
Okay.
And 67 said chill and dilute.
Very good. Bravi. That means we communicated well. So that's good. Now, for the people, they say froth and layers. You saw me frothing the cocktail. So if we say only frothy, yeah, the shaking technique could be used only for that. But the main purpose is always to chill and dilution. And then, of course, based on what we are using, if you're using a pineapple, if you're using pineapple juice, or if you're using an egg white or a substitution of the egg white, so really create that frothiness. So layers is a completely separate technique. So well done to the guys. Bravi, well done. Thank you, Shanaz. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We can go to our second recipe of the day. This is a great cocktail that was actually designed together with one of our collaboration all the time we do, because we do work with different brand ambassadors all the time. And this was a good friend of mine, Towland. So Towland gave me this recipe. We modified, we made it beautiful, and we call this the desert flower. So desert flower. And why we call this? Because we are in the middle of the desert. We are in Dubai. We enjoy a lot of oases. We enjoy a lot of flowers. We have a beautiful garden where we can really create all our senses back when we talk about the entire floral notes when we're talking about. And this is a good product because what we do here is super cool, because this is an icon, just jasmine, peach, and what else he has here is a mango. So this is the mango. So this is a tea base. So this is today is about coffee and tea. What I like about this is the kind of like a peach is very floral, mango is very floral, and jasmine is very floral. So really those three together. So that's why we call the desert flower. So really that brings you all that together. So what we're gonna do is in this cocktail in particular, I will making actually a shaking technique. What we do here is just a gentle shaker. So we're not gonna have the heavy shake we saw when we made the frothiness, or when we actually made the frothy, and when we made the cream in terms of the grasshopper. Here is another things to see for you guys. In general, on the recipe, you will see there was like a boiron puree. So boiron puree is a wonderful frozen puree. So give us consistency. Now today, when I went to buy my raspberries, I saw that there were a few raspberries that they're not good for garnish. So what does it mean? Those ones, they were beautiful, they were nice, they're still really, really good to look. And what happened here, those raspberries, they were a bit squashed, a bit damaged. So I will not use as a garnish. I'm going to use them as a substitution of my puree. My recommendation is for you, when you use puree, you always have a consistency on flavor. I've been tasting these, my raspberries today, I've been tasting them. And what I noticed, they're pretty good, they're quite sweet, so have a good level of ripeness. So that's why maybe they were quite soft. So what I will do, this is around 7-8 pieces of the raspberries. Now you remember we say we're gonna use these tools, which is the muddle. We muddle because this is when we're crushing the fruits. Well, in this case, you will see that it's not needed in particular, because the fact is the raspberries are so soft, they will crush immediately when we're going to shake it. So even if we're shaking soft, we're still able to crush the raspberries. So it's something for you to remember. So what I'm gonna do now, I will add some ice, and then I will have the glass is this great highball glass, so they can come a bit smaller or bigger. We will see when we dedicate our session dedicated to all glassware. So what we have here,
I will measure now a good, nice 120 milliliters. Then I will add some citrus elements. So my lemon, always choose a lemon which has a pretty cool, soft, nice, ready to be squeezed. And this is what we have now. Here we go. And that's it. So here it is ready to go. Let's have a look. I love it because now the red color that comes through is super, super exciting. Now, to match this color, I want you guys to see this. I want you guys to have a look this one. So this is something that's part of our garnish. So what we have here is exactly this. So this is a classic rimmer. Now, as you can see, here we have what it says, lime juice, sugar, and salt. These come from the classic cocktail, which is called the margarita or the daiquiris, where people normally relate it to, they put a garnish, they rim the glass with either sugar or salt. Salt for the margarita, sugar. Normally, some people use it also for the daiquiris or other recipes. What I want to show you this is that this is how we do it. We're gonna have, this is humid enough to really create. Let me open better so you guys can see. Literally here we go. So this is what we're creating. Let me show to you even closer how beautiful looks like this one. You can see here the entire rim. Beautiful. And then we will add the ice. And in this case, what we want to do is have the freedom. Last week, we showcased completely the entire session dedicated to the tools. So what we saw is that we can actually use something like this if you don't want to have the pieces of fruits. Now, in this case, when we're using raspberries, they're so small, they're so soft, so we're quite pleasant. This is a cocktail that is going to be served without the straw because this rim is a sumac. So we have a sumac, so it's got a beautiful spice from the Middle East, and it's great because that's what's going to happen there. You will have that salty, lemony, interesting, that the sumac. So the sweetness and the bitterness also from the raspberry will go. So I will go straight inside without actually doing any double strain because I want my pieces of fresh raspberries inside, and then you will see. Excellent. You can see that. So it kind of like really gives a lot of nice. So this is the desert flower. There we go. And now the garnish part, I will be bringing this to you so you guys can see how we're really going to garnish with a nice, fresh raspberries. And to finish, I will also add a bit of a lemon here just to have a touch. I like to put the lemon like this as a wedge because some people, they would like to have they can squeeze on top, they can have an extra touch of sourness, so they can actually choose it. And then we'll combine very well. Raspberry and lemon is a great combination. So let's go and let's try this cocktail. I will. Oh, I like the sumac. I like the sumac. I like the lemony flavors.
together with some saltiness, and it's kind of like this is a bitter. So this is a great outdoor cocktail. You will see. Now, for the people they like to have a bit more sweetness, feel free to add whatever flavors you want. I always say, take it easy on that. You go with the natural sweetness of the fresh fruits, which is always really high recommended. However, if you want to play with the others. So this is the two cocktails we saw today, and pretty much I will now give a beautiful journey, a recap of what we did today, because what we discussed on our episode 1, we saw about the tools of the trade. So exactly every single pieces that we need when we operating a cocktail bar. Today, we saw the method and technique. What does it mean? How do really utilizing every single piece of them? So we say about shaking. So how do we shaking? We saw 3 different style of shaking. So one to create the foam, one to do actually the real purpose is the chilling and dilution, where we saw the usage, of course, every time of the jigger. We saw the stirring technique, and then we saw the throwing. We saw the layer that you choose from our poll. So fantastic. So pretty much I can look me around. I can see that we cover everything. So Shanaz, I will go back to you. From my side, Mr. G, I will say thank you very much to everyone for watching. And next time, we are going to talking about glassware. So choose the right glassware to make your cocktail zero look fantastic. Thank you very much for me. And I will go to, I think it's Karun Shanaz. I think it's to you, the line. Ciao, ciao.
Just a moment, Mr. G. You're not off yet. I have one more question for you from Kalina Shah. She wants to know the technique to make an espresso martini before we end.
I thought I could get away today earlier. Instead, no. Sorry, can you repeat me the name of the lady that asked a question?
Kalina.
Kalina, thank you very much for asking. That's a really cool question, because espresso martini definitely is one of my favorite personally. Being Italian, we like the espresso. We have the espresso shakerato, so it's just like a coffee shaken with ice. I will say, to make a good espresso martini, you will need a shaker like the one we saw. So something like this one. So a good shaker, you need a large shaker to make a good espresso martini. Why? Because what we saw today is like when you shake, it will help you, even if you are not really a professional on the shaking, it will help you to really make the frothiness of the espresso martini. So oxygen needs to go really to expand the coffee, and then all the liquors, or all the flavor that are inside the classic espresso martini. Okay, so a good shaking. So shake vigorously and always count how many times. I would say 10 times is good for an espresso martini, and then you strain into the glass. And that could be a glass like this, for instance. That's a good glass for an espresso martini. Has a nice, it's quite small, so you can actually keep sipping always a cold. Yeah. More questions, Shanaz?
No, that's it, Giovanni, for today from all your viewers.
Fantastic.
Karun, your mic is not on.
On now. Thank you very much, Giovanni and Shanaz. That was definitely an interesting session on the methods and the technology of doing great things. Real amazing techniques, I would say. Just a quick update. The recipes that was demonstrated today is made available to you to download onto your devices. And at the same time, the replay video of this session will be made available to you shortly over an email. And also, this video will be uploaded on YouTube for your quick reference. We look forward to seeing you for another exciting session next week. And until then, stay well, stay safe, and goodbye from us.